former security advisor at the Home Ministry. Two one-sentence questions, both on the administrative side. Ma'am, we would like your view on the largely held perception that the Ministry of Defence is into a delay tactics mode on the various cases ongoing at the various courts of India pertaining to servicemen and ex-servicemen. Number one. The second question is, would you like to share your views on the perceived anomalies between the allowances of the Defence Force personnel and the CAPF, the Central Armed Police Forces, as they occur after every such debacle? There is a perception that the allowances and perks of the CAPF rank and file go up with their IPS leadership, whereas we, within the defense hierarchy, either don't push forward enough or our hierarchy doesn't understand our angst. We would like your views on this, please, ma'am.
The first one was about delaying tactics in the courts. I wouldn't know about earlier times, but I can tell you for sure, I have not allowed any such delay, deliberate delay or delay without reason.
It's ongoing in the case of the cases which are now in the Supreme Court. I'm sure you're aware of them, ma'am.
And therefore, I'm giving this answer. And therefore, I'm telling you they are not delayed deliberate. And therefore, I'm telling you they are not delays or deliberate tactics. They could be reason. I'm monitoring every case. Literally every case. You might think, I'm sure you have enough friends and colleagues who can tell you that this woman is micromanaging the ministry, but I don't care. At least as regards cases, I've looked at every one of the cases. And where I can help, I've even taken a policy decision that we shall not go on appeal. And that is where I can take it.
Ma'am, it breaks my heart when the Ministry of Defence through its council is challenging a veteran over matters of 1,000, 2,000 rupees. The legal fees we incur for those cases is more than the value of the challenge. As Raksha Mantri, can't you ask for these cases to be withdrawn?
I think I've done that. About 83 totally in a particular category of disability, not category of disability, in the category of disability as a whole. Of the 83, nearly 66 I've withdrawn. I have told them not to go further ahead after the AFT has given them in favor of the officer or the Jawan. The case has been decided. I do not want them to go on an appeal. On that, I've withdrawn. The rest of them, there are little technical hitches on which I can't one sweep withdraw it. Hopefully, I'll be able to withdraw even they. But the rest of them. Yes, and this is another thing on which I want to say. Only yesterday, as regards the CAPF ex gratia payments and things like that, I have given a press release. I've written in a blog that they are at par now. CAPF and the armed forces are at par, especially on ex gratia, and on the fact that declaring battle casualty or operational casualty, as they call it in the paramilitary, they are both now being declared post 2017. It wasn't the case earlier. Then the allowances have been increased. But let me tell you something about the armed forces. They have worked out, and very well for that, and I'm happy for them. They have worked out group insurances, as a result of which they have better amounts being given to casualties, which maybe the CAPF will do it for themselves if their people will have to get. So on these grounds, where it is not the government per se, but the services think for themselves and devise certain things which finally get approved by the government. So it's not to do with IPS heading the, this is something which I want a request to people to say the bureaucrats in Home Ministry are far more effective, whereas the bureaucrats in armed forces in the MOD are against the forces. Please.
Ma'am, I have two questions.
No, I've not finished that one. I'm sorry to take a long wound answer. I don't want that. MOD officials are also under the Raksha Mantri. They're also being answerable through the Raksha Mantri to the Prime Minister. Officials can't do their manmani against the services. I want this thought. If it existed, I don't know. I do not allow that to exist here. I'd rather have the MOD function as one. in which the civil authorities are facilitators for the services and they only do facilitation, they shall not obstruct. That's the line we've taken.
Ma'am, I have two questions.